most recognizable and famous examples of Thanksgiving television specials, but are there any others? Yeah, but not many. There's Bugs Bunny's Thanksgiving Diet, which first aired November 15th, 1979. And this is the follow-up to Bugs and Daffy's Carnival of the Animals, which aired in 1976. And that was the first time Bugs Bunny had appeared in anything since 1964. In Bugs Bunny's Thanksgiving Diet, Bugs Bunny plays a dietitian that helps out other Looney Tunes characters with their eating disorders, which is sort of a strange concept, but this is more like a flashback episode as they intermingle other Looney Tunes cartoons, which are edited and redubbed to fit this Thanksgiving special, and mainly it's just a stock footage showcase that doesn't really have anything to do with Thanksgiving. They mention Thanksgiving a couple of times, and Bugs Bunny wishes you a happy Thanksgiving at the end of it. But, yeah, this is a Thanksgiving special that really doesn't have anything to do with Thanksgiving. But hey, look, we don't really have that many Thanksgiving specials to choose from, so I'm going to take what I can get. This was released on VHS by Warner Brothers Home Video, and you will not believe what people are trying to sell this for nowadays. $60? What the f***? $100? Okay, pal. You are clearly insane. I don't know. I guess it's a rare VHS tape. I mean, that's surprising because this isn't actually all that good. So, I don't know where people are getting this from, but it is what it is. So, Bugs Bunny's Thanksgiving Diet is actually a tremendously bad example of a Thanksgiving special, but, yeah, it's kind of one of the only ones we got. So, what else is there? Let's see. Oh, there's BC, the First Thanksgiving, which first aired on NBC November 19th, 1973, and is based on the comic strip by Johnny Hart. It's interesting to note that BC was a comic strip right alongside Peanuts and Garfield. All three comic strips got their own Thanksgiving specials, yet nobody seems to remember the BC Thanksgiving special. And if they do remember this, nobody ever talks about it. This never comes up in the conversations about Thanksgiving specials. Not that people have a lot of conversations about Thanksgiving specials, but you know, if you're trying to find a Thanksgiving special to watch, usually you choose Charlie Brown's Thanksgiving or Garfield's Thanksgiving.
Oh my God, a Charlie Brown Thanksgiving is my favorite Thanksgiving special.
Is it really your favorite Thanksgiving special? Or is it the only one you can think of?
Fascist.
Yep, that's what I thought. Anyways, BC, the First Thanksgiving, was released on VHS by Embassy Home Video in 1984. And that's it. That was the only VHS distribution of this. And then it just sort of disappeared into obscurity. And this is kind of hard to find nowadays. And if you do find one, you're looking at some pretty mid-tier prices. And then there's The Mouse on the Mayflower, which first aired on NBC November 23rd, 1968, and was produced by Rankin and Bass. Yes, the Christmas special powerhouse that is Rankin and Bass made a Thanksgiving special, and seemingly not too many people know this, as this has fallen into the chasm of obscurity of Thanksgiving specials. And this wasn't released on VHS until 1989, and it was released again in 1993, and once again in 1998. So despite the fact that this is pretty obscure, it still had 3 different VHS distributions. And actually, even though everyone's forgotten about this Thanksgiving special, all these VHSs are really easy to find and pretty cheap. And then there's The Thanksgiving That Almost Wasn't, by Hanna-Barbera, that first aired in 1972. And this was a big hit when it first came out, but then suddenly everybody just forgot about it. Through the 1970s, Hanna-Barbera was a pretty big deal, so the fact that they made a Thanksgiving special that is now pretty obscure is a little weird. Nobody ever talks about this one. This was a huge Thanksgiving special, and it should be on everybody's list. And you know what else? This was never released on VHS. What the hell? Quivering cans of cranberry sauce. Why was this never released on VHS? I guess they just didn't feel like it. It's a shame. Yeah, the list of Thanksgiving specials is pretty short. And now the list of Thanksgiving specials on VHS is even shorter. So thank you, Hanna-Barbera. There is absolutely no reason why you couldn't put this on VHS. Now, if you have ever wondered what Thanksgiving would be like in the land of Oz, well, have I got some good news for you. With Thanksgiving in the Land of Oz, which premiered in 1980 and was a Thanksgiving staple that aired on television all throughout the early 80s. You would think that this would go down in history as one of the greatest Thanksgiving specials and everybody would remember it. Well, no, not exactly. In fact, there's a catch. When this was released on VHS, they changed the title from Thanksgiving in the Land of Oz to Dorothy in the Land of Oz, and furthermore, they removed all of the Thanksgiving content within, making this just a neutral animated movie. Why in the hell did they do that? Well, the reason is, and I quote, to make it a family movie to enjoy all year round. So this started off as a Thanksgiving special and one of the only Thanksgiving specials, and now it's not. Thanks. I don't know, that just seems like such a bizarre move and pretty unnecessary. But regardless of that, it was still released on VHS numerous times, and each one is sort of easy to find and kind of cheap. So there you go. It's another obscure Thanksgiving special made even more obscure by changing the title. I don't know, I just can't get over that. That just seems so weird to me. It's sort of like if you took 'Twas the Night Before Christmas and renamed it, Hey, It's Only Tuesday. So what if I told you that the Berenstain Bears had Thanksgiving dinner with a Sasquatch? Would you think that I was a lunatic? Well, you should, because that sounds batshit crazy. But it's true. And it happened in the Berenstain Bears Meet Big Paw, which premiered on NBC November 20th, 1980. And they never actually referred to Big Paw as a Sasquatch, but you just kind of assume that. Either way, he's a giant f***ing monster. And this is a very non-conventional Thanksgiving special and very unique. And also, they imply that Big Paw is actually a Thanksgiving holiday character. As the legend goes, if you're not thankful on Thanksgiving, Big Paw will come and destroy your town. I am being 100% honest about that. Yeah, that's what the story's about. Now, it turns out the guy's really a nice bloke, but this still is a very interesting and noteworthy Thanksgiving special. And of course, nobody ever talks about it. But I suppose that we're all used to that by now, so whatever. What's one more forgotten about Thanksgiving special? And another interesting thing about this Thanksgiving special is that it was released on Laserdisc before it was released on VHS. It was released on Laserdisc in 1984 by Embassy Home Video, and that was a double feature that included the Berenstain Bears Christmas special. It wouldn't be released on VHS until 1987 by Embassy Home Video, and then it was released again in 1989 by Kids Classics Home Video, and Kids Classics released it again in 1990 as part of a double feature that included the Christmas special, and it was released one more time in 1992, once again as a double feature that included the Christmas special, and this one is in a kid's clamshell. So even though this Thanksgiving special, like the rest of them, is pretty much forgotten about nowadays, the Berenstain Bears Meet Big Paw got a hell of a lot of home media releases. And if you're a Laserdisc collector, good luck finding this one. I wasn't able to find anyone selling this anywhere, but all of the VHS distributions are very easy to find and pretty much dirt cheap, so have at it.
Watch the full episode here, as well as other classic Cat Nanos VHS pirate ship adventures, and please hit subscribe.